As compelling as the concept and atmosphere of ZombiU have always been, the game suffered from a few recurring problems, ones that were enough to cast some doubt on Ubisoft's lead Wii U title. The zombie first-person shooter featured controls that were far too sensitive, with aiming that was too loose to be effective, and a gun that simply didn't seem potent enough. That has changed. I recently had the chance to play through the first couple hours of ZombiU, and this much is for sure. Forget about Mario, Nintendo Land, Call of Duty, and everything else for a second. Let me make something very, very clear. Of all the Wii U launch games, Ubisoft's ZombiU is rapidly shaping up to be the absolute must-have title. ZombiU's controls are now far more precise than before. Movement and aiming feel right. They finally have the weight you would expect. In past demos, my main concern when facing a zombie was whether I could actually manage to kill it. Now, it's more of a question of whether I should. While franchises like Resident Evil have long strayed from the survival horror genre, ZombiU embraces it in full. You'll find yourself starved for resources, to the point where just having a dozen bullets feels like a luxury. But even when you've got the resources, Ubisoft snatches away that feeling of strength and safety by sending a few zombies your way. You'll find yourself panicking, scrambling to survive, and fueled by the fear of dying, which, by the way, has some severe consequences. If you perish in battle, you don't lose your game progress or mission-critical items. Instead, you lose the supplies, ammo, and resources you worked so hard to acquire. That means far more than the generator you powered up or the closed camera system you managed to hack. Far more. In death, ZombiU strips away your safety, your strength, your ability to survive in the world. Of course, I knew all of that long before my recent time with ZombiU, but that concept has much more meaning during longer play sessions. When I died, after spending 90 minutes maxing out my inventory, exploring every dark, damp corner and carefully choosing when to fight or flee, it really meant something. I was crushed. But I kept going. I picked myself back up and entered the apocalyptic wasteland of London once more, this time as a completely new survivor. What's interesting is that ZombiU keeps a consistent level of challenge. Instead of assuming a traditional difficulty curve that might exist in other games, where you acquire new weapons and keep them, the game rarely escalates. It's a consistent pressure, always in and around you. It starts almost from the first second, and it just keeps going. ZombiU embraces the concept of a story and world narrative more than you might assume. True, it's a zombie story, but a faceless ally will fill you in on recent events through a walkie-talkie, and finding scraps of newspapers will allow you more backstory, if you want to take the time to read it. The game allows you to determine whether you learn more about the history of this outbreak, or if you just want to kill the undead horde. Prior to my latest hands-on, ZombiU was an impressive concept, with some control issues that needed to be addressed before the game could truly be considered a must-have launch title. The game has continued to escalate in its quality since then, and with this most recent round, it eliminated one of its key remaining challenges. All in all, it's difficult to see this one not delivering upon its promises. For more on ZombiU and the entire Wii U launch, stay tuned to IGN.